All right, and as the Federal Road Safety Corps joins the world to mark the International Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims, and Nigerians have been cautioned to imbibe safe driving to drastically reduce the spate of road crashes. Now, this was the message at the commemoration of the 2020 World Remembrance Day of Road Traffic Victims. Oyeyemi Ajayi tells us more.
The road, always busy with vehicles, pedestrians and cyclists. It is one of the major means of transportation, but also with the highest record of deaths and fatalities, mostly blamed on careless driving, mechanical faults and even the road itself. The December 2018 Global Status Report on Road Safety, launched by the World Health Organization, says road traffic injuries are now the leading killer of people aged between 5 to 29 years old. This is one objective towards the commencement of the World Day of Remembrance for Road Traffic Victims, targeted at drawing attention to the scale of emotional and economic devastation caused by road crashes and for giving recognition to the suffering of road crash victims and the work of support and rescue services. It is not a different story in Nigeria, as the Federal Road Safety Corps annually marks the day, reminding Nigerians on the need to always be safety conscious on the road.
This year's theme, remember, support and act. So we need to remember those people we lost in the road traffic crashes. We need to support government and agencies to be able to continue to mitigate the issues we have around road traffic crash.
The Decade of Action for Road Safety 2011 to 2020, officially proclaimed by the UN General Assembly on March 2010, seeks to save millions of lives by building road safety management capacity, improving the safety of road infrastructure, further developing the safety of vehicles, enhancing the behavior of road users, and improving post-crash response.
Nigerians on the road are excited. They are not really helping matters. And our call to everyone is to be road disciplined. Every time we talk about road user behavior, people think it's just one of our cliches, but there is need for us to really emphasize that the public is very mindful of their behavior on the road. It's very pathetic.
However, the Global Status Report on Road Safety indicates that the progress to realize Sustainable Development Goal targets 3.6, which calls for 50% reduction in the number of road traffic deaths by 2020, remains far from sufficient. Hence, all hands must be on deck to achieve these targets, and therefore, the awareness of safe driving must be inculcated by all. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
Thank you very much, Oyeyemi. And to speak more on the day, we have in the studios Deputy Corps Commander, National Traffic Radio, Honey Ogundayo. Good to have you on the news tonight.
Good evening.
All right, so the UN General Assembly in March 2010 proclaimed 2011 to 2020 as the Decade of Action for Road Safety. Now, how has Nigeria fared in terms of reduction in road crashes within this period?
Thank you very much. I must tell you that the Federal Road Safety is doing so much under the leadership of the present Corps Marshal, Dr. Boboye Oyemi, MFR MNI. We have keyed into the United Nations Decade of Action, and to start with, we have good road safety management. Secondly, we are doing a lot in the area of public enlightenment. The second pillar of the Decade of Action is a safer road. And we are looking at a day whereby we have probably zero deaths on our roads. Then thirdly, we are also looking at the road infrastructure, whereby people will listen, they will obey the traffic rules, the road infrastructure will be there. Then number 4 pillar is the road user behavior, whereby we are looking at attitudinal change of people. So we do a lot of public enlightenment. We go to churches, mosques, anywhere we can see people, parks, garages, anywhere we can meet with people, we do a lot of public enlightenment, to enlighten them, to tell people to drive to stay alive. Then the fifth pillar, which is post-crash care, before now, we look at response time as 30 minutes, but now it has been reduced to 15 minutes. And in case there's any crash, we also have a toll-free number, which is 122, that we encourage people to call, so that in case there's any crash anywhere in Nigeria, when you dial the number 122, the number will get to our headquarters at Abuja, and they will call the nearest office, whereby we quickly rush to go and save lives. So in FRSC, we have fared so well in that area.
Yeah, is there anything the Corps is doing to reduce the response time, to at least an internationally accepted time frame?
Yes, sir, that's what I've just said. It has been reduced to 15 minutes. Even at times, we get there 3 minutes. It depends on people to also assist us, because road safety is a shared responsibility. We cannot do it alone. We need people to assist. In case you see any accident or any crash on the road, if you alert us, within 1 minute, 2 minutes, we are there.
All right, so secondly, the COVID-19 pandemic, has no doubt negatively affected all spheres of human life. In what ways has it affected the Corps' operation?
Thank you, sir. Yes, during the COVID-19 lockdown, we have lesser road traffic crashes, and we go about with our public enlightenment, public education, advising people to key into the protocols. So during that particular period, we recorded low traffic crashes.
Okay, so the objectives of this year's celebration, among other things, is to provide a platform for road traffic victims and their families to acknowledge the crucial work of emergency services. How does the Corps intend to achieve this?
Yes, the theme for this year's road safety, accident crash Remembrance Day is remember, support, and act. We remember those people that have lost their lives. We felt the pains of the families they left behind, the trauma they are passing through. And we also encourage people to support the government in order to provide safer road for every road user. And we want people to act, because it depends on attitudinal change. When we go about for our public enlightenment, one thing is for people to listen, one thing is for people to act, to obey the rules and regulations guiding the highways, to remember that the loved ones are waiting for them at home. So it's important that all of us come together to achieve this. It's a collective responsibility.
Okay, so the year is fast winding up, and we're almost at the last lap of the year. What is the Corps doing, to further reduce crashes, especially at this period?
During this particular year, we do what we call special operations. And during these special operations, it still borders so much on public enlightenment. We do light enforcement, but mainly we do public enlightenment, whereby we want to educate the motoring public. We want to educate them. We want to tell them that, if anybody is looking for money, you need to stay alive to spend the money, because only the living celebrate. And when you are traveling, please plan your journey. It's not because we are going for a journey that will take maybe like 2 hours, then you want to use 1 hour, you want to use a crash program. All this will not work. We don't want people to be making calls while driving. We want people to obey the rules and regulations. If you are doing the right thing, the next person is doing the right thing. Then all of us together, we achieve these goals.
Okay, Deputy Corps Commander, National Traffic Radio, Honey Ogundayo, we thank you very much for being with us on the news tonight.
Thank you, sir.
And now,